The drenched fort was dry, but the horsemen loosed its waters. And then the makers rejoiced, for their forge burned anew. From its fires they made a key, one which could awaken stone.
What's going on, guys? And today I'm bringing you my review of Darksiders 2. Now this game is it's a pretty awesome game that it quite surprised me at the beginning. I was like, whoa, but then as you played it more and more and more, it's just really an awesome game. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the story, without even spoiling it for you. And basically, it's just a sequel from part one, obviously. And this time, you use a different character. Now, in part one, you use War. Of the four horsemen, you use War. And on this one, you use Death because War is being, I believe he's being held captive by the console of, the game. Anyways, so yeah, Death is out to save his brother War from being executed by the council. So War decides to not War, I mean Death from the four horsemen decides to go free his brother. Now, but he doesn't know what to do. So what he plans to do is to restore mankind because War something happened. That didn't happen. I don't remember. I think I should go back and play it again. Anyways, but yeah, basically mankind gets extinct because of the apocalypse. The apocalypse happens on Earth, and all these creatures and uh, ghouls and gowns. They unleashed hell on Earth and they killed everybody. They killed everybody in this is really nothing. And so death is he's and the council thinks war is the main cause of the apocalypse, which yeah, I'll leave it up to you. Anyways, so death is out on a journey to save his brother in war. So what he plans to do is restore mankind. Hopefully the council will let war live. So what death goes has to find the tree of life, and from there he has to figure out how to save humanity. So Death travels to worlds and he meets all these makers. He meets all these really characters from other biblical characters, and he battles through his way, and is battle through his way to find a way to restore humanity. So that's basically what's the storyline. But as you play the game, you uncover more of the story, and it's just like really, really, this story is really great. I really enjoyed this playing this game and this story. Like we're like, oh man, it's like what's going on here? You get more to deeper. You find out about the main antagonist of the game is the corruption. The corruption has corrupted basically everybody. This corruption has corrupted the angels, have corrupted all these mythical creatures. This has corrupted all these demons and everything like that. So, I know, huh? But yeah, that's basically death has to find a way to stop the corruption in order to save man, restore mankind to Earth and everything like that. So, really, this game is really reminds me of two games. Now, obviously, you'll be like, well, I think I know which games you're talking about. Really, yeah, it's one of those games is God of War. Honestly, the fighting style of this reminds me a lot of God of War. The heavy attacks, the combinations, stuff like that. It really reminds me of God of War, and that's a really a good thing because I really enjoy the mechanics, the fighting mechanics of God of War. I think they're really good. Or if they remind you of God of War, they remind you of Devil May Cry, similar stuff like that. Now the other game that this really reminds me of is da 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 da. Not just is Legend of Zelda. You're like, what the hell? No, really, it does. You have the horse. It gives you could make the horse run faster. That gives you like five little energy blocks. After that, the horse just really just can't run faster anymore, and it's really you could like attack from the horse and everything like that. The whole locking onto the enemy, it really reminds me of like how Zelda was and everything. You could shoot like the arrows like in Zelda, or with the gun in this case for Darksiders, but really it does remind me a lot of Legend of Zelda and God of War if they would have the kit together. Anyways, but yeah, so basically with the game you encounter a lot of dungeons, a lot of dungeons where you have to climb and work your way through to the dungeons, and it really reminds me of the whole climbing of the God of War, but better. I think what the developers have done with this game in terms of climbing and moving around the walls and everything, they have done a great job. I think it's really fast because the God of War you move like to slowly, where you could jump, make it go faster. But with this, it's really just fast, like jumping through walls, climbing through these ledges. It's really fast, and I really like that about the game. Now, similar to what God of War has, the the Darksiders 2 has puzzles in the dungeons, which they're really sometimes really simple puzzles, but in a way they're really tricky. Like they're like, oh, when you're done, you're like, oh my god, that was simple, but they're really like tricky. They make you really think outside the box. They give you hints, and but you could really just figure out by themselves. It really doesn't really take that long, depending on the puzzle, of course. They each after each level they get harder. They make you think, okay, I have to do this first, and to unlock this cage, and then I have to do this and that. And the puzzles. Every dungeon has a puzzle, so that's a little heads up. And also, in the puzzles, if you're lost, you don't know where to go. There's also Death has a companion with him, which is a crow named Dusk. Now, Dusk, if you ever feel lost or whatever, like don't know what to do, you can hold L3, and L3 and Dusk will tell you, all right, you got to go this way. It's a little hint. If you're lost, Dusk will tell you like where to go. Like he will tell you which passage to take in order to go. And that's pretty cool. Like, oh man, I don't know where to go. I'm lost. You just tell Dusk, and the crow will tell you where to go. Now, a lot of there's also the ways you could customize your weapons. You have your primary weapon, you have your secondary weapon, and you have all these armor you could equip. Now, throughout the game, you could open chests, you could buy armor through different people, and you could really choose what kind of armor you could customize way you look, and depending, it's like has elements of RPG-ish. The HP, the hit points, the magic, and everything. You can also customize which magic or like little special abilities you could do by pressing L1 and triangle. Customize it. Like I'm gonna set L1 and triangle to be my little shield. I could set L1 and square to be this and that combinations. It's really cool. You could choose as your secondary. You could choose like a hammer. You could choose gloves or something like that. It's a nice way to mix it up a bit. If there's multiple enemies, you could choose a hammer. You could like hit multiple targets, or you could go with the the downside of that is you're very slow. But if you want to go really fast, you get the gloves with the blades, which is pretty cool. Now, now one of one of the things that I really like, and I'm gonna tell you what I like about the game right now and what I dislike about the game. And one of the things I like about the game is it's really fast paced action. From like almost like the God of Warness and the Devil May Cry. It's really fast-paced action. It's really fast. You gotta really think of like whoa, we gotta dodge these moves while you're attacking this guy. Another guy might come from the side or behind you, or the sides behind, and really attack you. Gotta move from the side, and it's really cool about this. It's fast-paced, a lot of action. It's pretty cool, as you probably see from the video. Now, another thing I like about it is, like I said, is the story. The story is really awesome about this. Now, I really enjoy the story of the overall story. It's really, really great, and I really like it, especially using the whole Jeff. Now, the cool thing about this is that gives you the choice of which weapons you want to use and which combinations you want to use. It's one of the things I really like about this game. It's really nice. It's really nice. Now, one of the things that I really do like is the graphics. The graphics are really impressive in Darksiders too. Really impressive how Death looks, Red Death, the little details of Death looks, or maybe other characters. Now the voice acting of course is really, the voice acting really reminds me of what's it called, Lord of the Rings, like that very like with the Scottish and the UK accents and all that, the Ireland accents, and the whole really reminds me of the game. Really reminds me of Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, those type of games, that really remind me of that settings. Now, I really told you what I like about it. Now, really, there's only really two things that I really dislike about this game. Now, really, there's the one of the things is that the loading times. When you're going across the maps, sometimes you get the little pause and it loads. Now that sometimes really bugs me. I found that a little bit annoying that you're going through the map with the horse and then boom, it little stops and it's loading, and then you continue. That's really what I found a little bit annoying. Throughout the game you find the little bumps, I call it, with the little loading, and it's really annoying. But that's one of the things. Now, one of the biggest things that I found about this game is the bugs. The bugs really just made it. I didn't really like it at all. Like, all these bugs are annoying as hell. Sometimes when the game loads, it freezes on you, or sometimes like a little cutscene's gonna happen, but it freezes. The game really freezes quite a bit throughout the game. Not a lot, but it really freezes, and you have to really turn off the game and restart from the last checkpoint that you saved. The checkpoints are saving points, but yeah, and it's really annoying that I found like throughout the whole game. It's like, I gotta redo this again. I gotta fight this guy again, but it's really annoying that I found that game. Overall, this game is really such a great game. I really, it's pretty lengthy. This game has the main missions, for the storyline, and it has a bunch of throughout the game has a lot of side quests, and a bunch of these side quests are pretty lengthy. Now, with the side quests, there's a bunch of boss fights. You go throughout the game. You encounter, and now this one boss fight that I had was really really strong, and I'm like, oh my god, you had to really come up with a strategy, like attack, okay, move out of the way, defend this and that, and I think it was the what was it, it was a king, it was a former king of the kingdom of the dead, the dead. But yeah, he was really tough, and I had to like think outside the box how to really kill him without getting a hit or something like that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. This game is quite lengthy. I've been playing it. It's probably like 17 hours and more than 17 hours I had into the game. With a lot of side quests, a lot of you know, with the main mission, side quests, and it's a pretty lengthy game, and which I really like about these games that are quite lengthy, because sometimes games are really nowadays are really short, or like maybe like 6 hours and then you're done. But with this game, it's like, ooh, more than 15 hours maybe, depending on how good you are. And after you complete the game, you unlocked Nightmare mode, which is really really tough. It's just, only play that if you're really good or you really advanced. But overall, it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The story is good. The graphics are great. It's a really fast-paced, game. There's puzzles. If you're into puzzles, throughout the dungeons and everything, the whole climbing system is really, really great. And I wish God of War maybe would have took a page out of it, but it's really, really such a great game. Like, not bad. It's really a great game. Aside from the bugs that are really bothered me, from the little loading times and the bugs that causes the game to freeze, and that's annoying. But overall, it's just a really, really great game. For my ratings, I gave it 2 thumbs up. Really, you gotta try this game out. Really 2 thumbs up. And for my other rating, I'll give it 9 out of 10. The bugs really, really did it. Cause a pain. Really annoying. Just saying that. It's really annoying. But overall, this game is really fantastic. And it's a game that I quite enjoy playing. So that's it for my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. So what are your thoughts about this game? Do you like it? Are you gonna get it, or are you gonna wait until it goes down in price and then get it? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts about this game. Anyways, that's it for my review, and I'll see you guys in the next one.